So good morning all, welcome to the morning after show, the morning after the night before. Newcastle United 1, Aston Villa 1. Obviously a draw played out, late goals at St James's Park on Friday night, Saturday morning now. Looking back, mixed emotions about this game, very much mixed emotions at full time. Obviously thrilled that our captain stepped up with a late goal. However, it arguably could have been and should have been a win. But then again, if you look back, Dubravka had a couple of saves at the end to make, particularly one good save off his left hand. But anyway, let's break down. So the team sheet was Martin Dubravka obviously in goal. Left back was Paul Dummett. Centre half partnership was a captain and yourself goal scorer. 2 and 3 for the captain. Kieran Clark alongside him, and then it was Emil Kraft right back. Now the formation was a bit of a strange one at times, but I think for most of the game 4-3-3. The central player rather than let's do it 4-3-3. Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelby and Joe Willett in the 3-man midfield. Then you had Dwight Gale, Ryan Fraser and Joe Linton up top. Now, when I first saw that, I thought, brilliant, positives are, I did a pre-match line video, not necessarily recently, it didn't upload in time, but by the time I uploaded it, it was like but my first thought was brilliant. Dwight Gale's playing, at least we've got a recognised squad on the pitch. Obviously, Aston Villa are a much better team than we are, much better league position, but I thought obviously with Jack Grealish out, we've had a couple of injuries, like every team has. But I thought, this could be a prime opportunity to really have to go at Aston Villa. See, none of us like losing against Aston Villa. In the Premier League at home, we have a decent record against them. However, how that transgressed was up until probably for an hour, it was Joe Linton on the right hand side, who I thought, on the whole, did quite well. And it was Dwight Gale on the left and Ryan Fraser in the middle, so straight away warning signs. We have a winger playing in the centre and a centre forward striker playing on the wing. Now we all know Dwight Gale is not a target man by any means. However, he is a striker who likes to play on the shoulder, the last defender. He likes, as we saw in the Championship, John Joe Shelby, he likes those balls over the top. He likes the through balls, like I said, on the last shoulder. He is by no means a winger. I'm sure with, he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't get the ball away much, but he just looked so uncomfortable out on the left hand side. His runs were wrong for a winger, which you can sort of understand. When we broke Ryan Fraser through the middle, you play it out to Gale cut in before, and wasn't that overlap on the left hand side, which obviously Paul Dummett, as well as Paul Dummett played, he's not that man, he's not going to be that man to be bombing up and down the wing. So, looking at the individuals, Dubravka did well. Kieran Clark, positionally, I thought he was sensational. Again, he never gets caught out, often very unlucky with the own goal. You could argue perhaps he should get the title shot, with Watkins. However, I think that's a bit harsh. It was just unlucky, and it was just so indicative, so typical of a team that's fighting for their lives down at the bottom. These things tend to go against you. Emil Kraft, I don't think he had his worst game for Newcastle. It wasn't his best. With Javier Manquillo on the subs bench in the last game against West Brom, I expected him to start. I thought if he was available to play off the bench in the last game, and it's another 6 days has gone past, I thought surely he's available for selection. As it happened, the goal came from a cross from our right hand side when Manquillo was on the pitch, so you could point fingers there. Would Kraft have stopped it? I don't think he would have, but it was 0-0 when Emil Kraft left the pitch. Lascelles I thought was solid throughout. We didn't get troubled that much really. Paul Dummett solid at left back. Got in the first half particularly, got some good crosses into the box, So it's shown that, you know, when if our midfielders can get us up the pitch, keep possession of the ball and force us up the pitch when our whole defence pushes up, if we've got someone making moves on that left-hand side, i.e. Dwight Gale was trying to make moves and he was coming inside a lot, which dragged their right back inwards at times. Dummett is available to put those balls into the box. I still think going forward, if we're playing a flat back four, Jamal Lewis is going to be the man because he is quicker, he offers a lot more going forward on the overlap, etc. It's just his balls into the box at times haven't been good enough. Paul Dummett, a couple of cracking crosses in. Now, if we had a striker playing in the middle, in the box, then arguably those crosses would have come to fruition. You know, you can bet your bottom dollar that Callum Wilson would have been trying to get on the end of that cross. Joe Linton, arguably, if he had tucked in a bit more, and Andy Carroll certainly would have. Anyway, that's by the by. So the main thing was, from the fullbacks, was Kraft. I don't think was great, but he wasn't as bad as he was against West Brom, because against West Brom I thought he was horrific. Dummett was solid, Kraft was solid defensively. Neither of them offer an awful lot going forward, bar a few crosses from Paul Dummett. Midfielders, Joe Willock had a very quiet first half. Second half I thought he turned it on, he did a couple of nice turns and broke from midfield. I've said in previous videos, he is our legs in midfield in terms of getting forward, he can drive with the ball. But all three midfielders in the first half were not great at all. Isaac Hayden made a couple of good tackles, which we expect from him day in, day out. John Joe Shelvey, in particular, with some passes were horrendous. You know, he tried the crossfield ball. I think one was just skimming across the ground. He gave the ball away blatantly a couple of times. Both teams in the first half put the ball into the stand far too much from passes. You know, one from Shelvey, it looked like a basic roll it across the ground pass. He tries to like whip it up round and it just goes into the stand. So yeah, our midfielders in the first half were not up to scratch at all. In terms of ball retention, in terms of getting at Aston Villa, they played through us quite a bit. Joe Linton in the first half I thought was our best player. He showed 4 or 5 times last night that against Tyrone Mings, he had the measure of him physically. He turned Mings on occasion, he got at him, he got the ball. Mings was very tight and Joe Linton used his strength and his turn of pace to get away. Just same old story with Joe Linton. The final ball, the final product was not there. He had a similar one in the second half to the West Brom chance where he could have shot and he pulled it back. It was a bit more of an angle, to be fair. But in the first half, I can remember him getting the ball on the right hand side. Tyrone Mings doesn't get near him quick enough and then he just shrugs him off, goes round him. And he just, alright, he's at an angle. He's not at the ideal angle for a right-footed player, but he just dithers for a couple of seconds, allows them to get back in and he goes to shoot and it's a good block. But yeah, Joe Linton on the whole, build-up play I thought was very, very good. The ball stuck last night. He showed a good turn of pace, some good turns, some good skills, some good touches. It's just the final product is not enough. Now, obviously Joe Linton's never going to get a lot of praise from Newcastle fans, unfortunately. I think there is elements of a player there, but in a relegation scrap which we are balls deep in now, he cannot start. I'm sorry, Joe, but he cannot start because he does not have that final product, which in the last 20 minutes coming off the bench may not cost us that much when there are players better equipped to have that final product who should be starting, i.e. Jacob Murphy, who made a big impact when he came on. But Joe Linton, like I said, he doesn't have that final product. So to start with, we're already losing so much in the first hour, 70 minutes of the game because he cannot deliver that pass, or he's so short of confidence, unfortunately, that he cannot deliver it. Ryan Fraser, I thought, had a quiet game, playing in a, alright, I think he's played in the number 10 role for Scotland, but he didn't have a centre forward to play off. He looked lost. I thought with him playing up top, it's going to be balls in behind. We couldn't deliver that. We couldn't. There's no balls going in behind, whip round the corner for him. There's nothing over the top for him really. So we've got a front three of a player who cannot deliver the final product. 2 players out of position who both love the final ball over the top, which never came. Second half, slight improvement. It wasn't the best game in the world. I think Steve Bruce left it a bit late with substitutions again. I think the first one was in like the 78th minute or something like that. Obviously, cross comes in. Ollie Watkins headers it against Kieran Clark. The ball goes, both Clark and Dubravka look dumbfounded. If that ball doesn't hit Kieran Clark, Dubravka saves that comfortably, like a cricket player catching a ball that's going skimming along the ground. He deals with that comfortably. So that was disappointing. When that goal went in, I'd be honest, I'll always cheer the team on, but I lost any sort of hope. I thought, well, that's it, we've blown it again. Jacob Murphy comes on, makes an instant impact. I was texting my mate at the time. I was like, Jacob Murphy, I know he's not the greatest player in the world. He doesn't have that quality at times. Sometimes he shoots and it goes into the rose head, but he's not afraid to try something. He's not afraid to take accountability, and he can deliver. Near enough instantly, he gets himself in from the left hand side of the box. Beautiful dummy to sell the defender. Takes an extra touch. Perhaps you think, he should have just smashed it there and then, but he takes an extra touch to steady himself because he's got himself that time in the box due to his quick feet. Looks up, goes to the top corner, hits the crossbar. Oh my God. Now, I didn't lose my head too much at Jacob Murphy because I like him. I really like him. I think he's a good player. But looking back at it now, you think, do you need, from that range, that you're quite close in, almost point blank, do you need to be hitting the top corner from there? However, if it hits the top corner from there, it's a guaranteed goal. Martinez, as much as a great goalkeeper he is, I've got him on my fantasy team in the Premier League. I really rate him, but if that hits the top corner, it's in. And it's cannons off the crossbar, and you think, oh my God, is this not going to be our night? But like I said, Jacob Murphy keeps plugging away, keeps trying things. He doesn't hide. He's always available for the ball, and he'll get his head up and he'll start running. He has it's not a unique ability, but good players in that position, wide players, have the ability to run fast and dribble quickly and drive forward with their head up. They're not looking down at the ground. So he's aware, and in the end, we work it wide. I think it was off a corner a few phases later, and Jacob Murphy gets the ball in. Good ball. Very similar goal actually to Lascelles' goal against Wolverhampton. When Fraser off the right crossed it in, Murphy off the left puts that ball into the area, and it is a great header. It is a great header. Smash. In comes the captain. Fantastic. 90th minute. Obviously, I forgot to mention their goal was 86 minutes. So you think, oh my God, it's so late on. How are we going to recover? Lascelles, boom, big header from a big player who's been in form recently. I did a video start of the season saying, what's happened to Jamal Lascelles. I did I think it was the start of the season. I did one last season as well. When we played West Brom in the cup and he got dominated by their centre forward who came on. But he's been playing very, very well recently. He's had a run in the team after COVID, and whereas before Clark and Fernandez were a partnership, Fabian Schär has played well at times, particularly against Liverpool. I don't think you can. I love Federico. I think he's one of our best players, but I don't think you can disrupt that partnership between Clark and Lascelles. They look very good. Very good. It's ironic that those two look good now when it looks like we're heading to the Championship, and they were our main partnership in the Championship last time, or certainly did well together. So where do we go from here? Looking at the other results, things did not go our way, unfortunately. Fulham lost against Man City, which I checked at half time. I had a look and I thought, oh my God, Fulham are looking alright here. They had City had a couple of chances, but Fulham looked okay. In the end, 3-0. Aguero, Jesus and co getting the job done. So Fulham went our way, which was the immediate, but we needed Brighton to lose. We needed, ideally, Burnley to lose as well. Brighton, huge result for them. Beat Southampton. Southampton are on that slippery slope now. They're 5 points ahead of us, but they could be dragged down into it. Burnley move, not clear, but move away, beating Everton, which was a surprise. Obviously, Everton, no James again, but they are a very good team. You know, one of the surprise packages of the season, but I don't think anyone saw them doing so well, or as well as they have done. So you would have expected Everton to beat Burnley. Burnley, if you haven't seen it, have a look at the highlights, because Chris Wood's first goal is great, and is it McNeil, the second Burnley goal? Wow. Fantastic. Not the sort of goal you associate with Burnley, but fantastic goal. So yeah, things didn't go our way. The Brighton game, you know, Brighton are 2 points ahead of us now, I believe. Yeah, they're 2 points ahead. Just think they could still. If Southampton did the job on them, they'd still be they'd be 2 points behind now, I think. Anyway, they'd still be behind us, and if we beat Villa, we could have climbed clear of Brighton and sort of, you know, pushed them down a bit. However, this game now on Saturday afternoon, I'm not sure when it is absolutely massive. And that it's not just the relegation. There's a contrast. I've seen a lot of pundits saying this week that they, you know, if they had to, if the decision was in their hands who would go down, they want Newcastle to go down because we don't play very good football. I think in the last sort of 6 weeks, 7 weeks, we've played better football, particularly if you look at the Wolves game and the first half against Man United. I thought we played quite well. Obviously against Chelsea, we got strangled by a very, very good team, and against West Brom we were atrocious. Against Villa, I didn't think we played too badly. There was movement there, but it's just we were hampered by our two of our three cogs up front being played completely out of position. One being out of position hampered the other even more. Like I said, if we had a proper winger, if we had, say, ASM, or lo and behold, Jacob Murphy on the right and Joe Linton on the left, even, you know, those two guys are comfortable in those positions. They know what they're doing. Perhaps Fraser could have had more service, or he could have affected the game in a more positive way. As it happened, because Fraser wasn't comfortable, that was exaggerated then by Dwight Gale being completely a fish out of water on the left-hand side. But, so, we go on again. Brighton on Saturday. This is absolutely huge, as I said, for a number of reasons. Not only we are the two closest teams to the bottom three, not only are there a few points between us, not only are Brighton a much better footballing team for the majority of the season, and they are a more popular side than us. Wind the clocks back when Carl Lamptey, I think his name Carl Lamptey there, right wing back, completely smashed the living daylights out of us at St James's Park. One of the most embarrassing team performances, or one of the most embarrassing team results in terms of the performance I've seen for some time. We got smashed 3-0 at home, just in case you don't remember. I'm sure you all do. So we need a result. Let's not forget about that result. We owe them one. Brighton are, like I said, a better football. They're a nice footballing team, but I believe we have better players on paper. If everyone's performing, we should be better. However, if Steve Bruce lines up Dwight Gale on the left-hand side again, and Joe Linton from the start, we will not win that game. Isaac Hayden doesn't look himself because he's being pushed out on the left-hand side. He played as a left winger at times against West Brom and Villa. Anyone who knows anything about Isaac Hayden knows that as much as he's a tremendous player and he's our best player and we owe him so much because he's been fantastic for us, he's not a left winger. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a review for Brighton on the Friday reflections because it is such a big game. Be interesting to see what Steve Bruce says on Friday. I don't usually listen to the press conference much, but I'm gonna, because it's huge. Anything but 3 points, and I think I've been saying for a while we're going to go down. I hope we don't, obviously, but I've been saying that for a while. I do believe in my heart, but it's been, you can't deny the evidence, but I think we pretty much sign our ticket. You know, if Burnley win again, if Brighton beat us and if Fulham win, you know, we could be in the bottom 3 before we kick off due to Fulham. But if all that happens, disaster. When you look at the run of fixtures we've got coming up, you know, that these 4 were the times to get, I'm not saying we would have got maximum 12 points, but they were the times to really do it. And against Wolves, okay, we were unlucky. Joe Linton should have scored. We played better than Wolves. We deserve better. Against West Brom, we deserve to lose that game. We set up not to win. We set up to draw, but we deserve to lose. And we didn't deserve anything from that. Villa, we played well in patches and spells. We were hampered by team selection, by tactics. And we were unlucky, you know, an own goal. So Brighton is the one we need 3 points from. If we can beat Brighton, you think, you know, that's... I don't want to agree with Steve Bruce here, because he said, you know, oh, that's 3 games unbeaten. It's 3 massive opportunities missed, but it is 3 games unbeaten at the end of the day. I'm not agreeing with him, like he said last night, you know, oh, it's okay, we're unbeaten 3 games. But if you look after the Brighton game, if we win that, you think, right, okay, we haven't been beat for 4 games. We've got 6 from the last 4 games. You know, things start to look a little bit more positive. But you look at the teams we still got to play. West Ham. This isn't in no order. West Ham, Leicester, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and then those 2 monumentous games at the end of the season, Sheffield and Fulham. But yeah, anyway, so we were unlucky at the end of the day against Villa. I think we deserved to win that game. But Jacob Murphy, he showed the impact he can have, the impetus he can have. He must start. But anyway, hopefully the boys get a good training weekend. No more injuries. And we will... I'll see you guys on Friday for Friday Reflections. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Cheerio.